Hey everybody, it's Goblin and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. And after the very competitive week we've had playing a bunch of Arena Direct stuff, we're flopping over to the other side of the spectrum. Today we are into our very first Alchemy Premier Draft of Lorwyn Eclipsed. This is a Premier Draft of Lorwyn Eclipsed, just like normal, same entry fee, same prize structure, but in addition to the whole pack of cards from Lorwyn Eclipsed, there's one card from Alchemy Lorwyn Eclipsed added in as well. These cards are always uncommon rarity or higher, and some of them are insane bomb rares. So these are some really spicy, really high variance, really power loaded drafts here, where there's packs that have like 4 rares in them, because you could have 3 rares in the regular pack plus an alchemy rare if you're super lucky. Some crazy stuff. And kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from the super competitive stuff. It's just a regular premier draft. So we're going to do some goofy stuff here if we can. And we got a great rare to start us off. The Wildgrove Summoner is a sweet alchemy card. It is a 5 mana 4/7. And when it enters, all of your forests in your hand and your deck become 3/4 tree folk with reach and haste. That's already really good. But then if they kill it without exiling it, if it dies specifically, you get to put 2 forests straight into play from your deck. And here's what I mean by these drafts being super powerful. We took a rare pack one, we get past 2 rares that are also both really strong again. I'm probably going to scoop up the Dawn Hand Dissident here, because it's just a generically good black spell. That'll go great in any black deck, but also Black-Green Elves would be a great spot to run Summoner and the Dissidents. But the Alchemy rare here is another really absurd one. 2 mana for an enchantment. The first merfolk you cast each turn has Convoke, so any merfolk now have Convoke instead of just like the really high mana value ones, which means you can dump your hand really quick with this. And at the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, really easy to do in a merfolk deck, especially when you're convoking stuff. You get to conjure a Stonybrook Scrollmaster onto the battlefield, which is then another great merfolk to keep tapping and convoking other things out with. Really absurdly powerful packs here. Having 2 bomb rares now getting passed to us, we take the black one over the merfolk one, because the merfolk one's not going to play well with Wildgrove Summoner. Pick number 3. The Alchemy card now is a 3 mana 3/2. When it enters, you get a boon with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery with mana value 3 or less, copy it. Copy your next instant or sorcery that costs 3 or less. That's really good value. So yeah, Rhymekin looks great. In general, obviously incredible for an elemental deck, because it's also a relevant card type for that. There's also Silvergill Mentor for Merfolk. Noggle Robber, because we're going to want to be heavy into green for Wildgrove Summoner. This fixes us whatever our other color is. This is just double green in one, if we're playing a triple green card already. I think I'll go for the Noggle Robber here, but those other uncommons. Also quite exciting. Pick number 4. Finally running out of rares and alchemy cards. Some pretty standard stuff here. Wayfinder if we want to keep our colors really open, or we could just take Reaping Willow. Triple black's kind of a hard sell, but if we have really good fixing, we could play this in a green-black deck. Maybe we can do some tree folky shenanigans. I like Reaping Willow a lot. I'm going to speculate on it a little bit here. For pick number 5, we do see one fine average elf for trying to go down that path. What is 10 to the Kiln? 2 mana for an enchantment. When it enters, all non-elemental instants and sorceries you own perpetually become elementals in addition to their other types. Whenever you cast an elemental, put a flame counter on it. If it has 3 or more, remove them, conjure a Flame Braider. Gains haste and become the next end step. That doesn't seem that good. So for every 3 spells you cast, you haste out 2 damage for 1 turn. I might be misreading it, but that doesn't seem that strong. I'll just take some filler elf here, because the other cards are all just filler cards for the deck. Filler merfolk, filler elemental, filler elf. Pick 6 now. There is an alchemy card in here, but it doesn't look that strong. 1 mana to buff all your creatures in your hand, or 1 mana to draw a Kithkin for 1 turn. The rest of this pack is also quite weak, though. Nothing great here. Just take a big tree folk if we get lucky and do that kind of stuff. Just get deeper into black as well for like a Reaping Willow Blight deck backup plan if green's pretty cut, which we haven't seen any good green in a little while, although now we do see Shimmer Wildgrowth, which is reasonable. Not a particularly strong pack, so I don't mind it. Pick number 8, Putrid Hex Bag is a pretty cute card to blight onto, but it's not the strongest ability ever. Just makes it so you're pinging your opponent a little bit when their creatures die, based on how many times you've blighted. Even if I become a black-white blight deck, I'm just not that interested in the Hex Bag, so I'll just take the Big Zealot, which I like a lot in Blue-Red Elementals. I also like it in Vivid decks, which we might be heading towards. Zealot does a lot of stuff. Pretty flexible. Pick 9, Super Filler Elf, Super Filler Kithkin, Super Filler Treefolk. It's about that time to find the filler. Just grab the elf. There's a Pennant. There's a couple cards that we could end up getting that I'd want to run Pennant for. Particularly if we open up the elf command, that's the really busted combo, because the Pennant can pick up the command, and the command can pick up the Pennant, so they go infinite. You do have to still spend a bunch of mana each time, but you can grind out a game with that pretty easily. Bunch of filler. Really don't want to end up running any of these. These are fine cards for Merfolk decks. I think the Merfolk cards here are better than the rest. Maybe we end up with some blighty stuff, though. I really don't think we're going to end up in Merfolk, but we might be ending up with some blighty nonsense with this Willow. It's a late Giant Fall. Perfectly fine removal spell. Pick 12 there. Pack 2, pick 1. What do we open? Preponderant Pearl, a great Alchemy Merfolk card. Then we also open a great Merfolk Convoke rare. Wish I took the Alchemy Merfolk rare and just ran with it, because we saw decent Merfolk late. Not really a lot of stuff in like green and black here. Awkward. Disruptor of Currents still is the strongest card in this pack by quite a lot, so I think I still have to take it. Topsoil Turner. 2 and a green for 2/4 reach. When it enters each forest and tree folk in your hand, gain tap for double green. There's also a fine Kithkin rare. And some removal. I'm going to be stupid. I'm going to take the Topsoil Turner and still try to force Wildgrowth Summoner a bit with that pick. Here's a reasonable green creature. Also a Tree Folk, which is important. There's Crater Stomp for removal. If we go the green-red Vivid route, which is looking possible. We don't have many reasons to be black, just the Dawnhand Dissident we were past. The Reaping Willow is super restrictive, and outside of that, we got past quite filler cards. Maybe we're green-red here. Take Crater Stomp. We can still splash in the Dissident in a Vivid deck. And then if I'm splashing black anyway, I can splash whatever this Alchemy card is, which I don't really know. The Grand Goat Napper. Spells you cast have affinity for goats. Tap, target non-goat creature perpetually becomes a goat in addition to its other types, and then conjure a Goat Nap into your hand. Is this even good? So you can tap, make your opponent's creature a goat, and then also spend 3 to steal it, give it +3/+0, and hit your opponent with it. It's really funny, so I'll take it. And there's a black-red Shockland. Okay. Jund Vivid. Guildweaver's also good in Vivid, though. Getting that treasure token's pretty huge, because it also helps splash blue. Because we could splash like a little bit of 2 different colors just off of playing a bunch of treasures. So the Guildweaver might actually be better than Blood Crypt here. Certainly if I end up wanting to splash multiple colors, it will be, I think. I'm actually going to take Guildweaver here and get the treasure. Here's an Informant for a really reasonable 2-drop. Wayfinder is helpful for Vivid stuff. But I do really like the 2-mana 3/1. Nah, we gotta get some fixing. Grab that, drop Archer. Like to drop Brute and Pennant if I can. Just cut down to just stuff that makes sense in 4-color Vivid. So I need quite a few more playables. Luckily, here's on-color removal, so that's an easy one. Heirloom's interesting. I don't even know what the most prevalent creature type in our deck would be. But that's a little interesting. That might have been better. I just didn't have a ton of time to read it, and I definitely still need more removals. That's a simple pick there. Speaking of simple picks, Great Forest Druid, man of any color, perfect. Pick 9, a Tweeze, 4th red burn spell. Sure, I'll take it over mainly Percher. Gristle Glutton seems reasonable here. If we're green-red at the core, that does some digging. If we draw any like duplicate sources of our splash colors or anything like that, those are great cards to discard. Don't love any of this for Vivid. Take the core. Another Tweeze, just red burn is all open all over. I actually like Tweeze a little better than Boulder Dash for this kind of deck because I think the discard and draw is going to be pretty valuable. Because we could really have like the wrong cards at the wrong time. Pack 3, pick 1. Well, here's a Vivid card. Opulent Clumper. 2 mana for at least a 1/1. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of colors among permanents you control. But at the beginning of your upkeep, it keeps adding colors to itself until it becomes all 5 colors. So it's going to become a 5/5 eventually if it sticks around long enough. Clumper seems fun. We'll play around with it. Mirror Form also pretty fun, but a really difficult. Splash versus Explosive Prodigy being guaranteed great in one of our main colors. I'm going to take Prodigy over Mirror Form. Second copy of Mirror Form. Rip. Another Crater of Stomp, though, for efficient removal. Cinder Strike as well. 1 mana deal 4 is pretty huge. If we have decent cards to Blight onto, we could Blight onto a Wayfinder, Great Forest Druid when we're lucky. Cinder Strike might be better than a second Stomp here. Add a deal 4 to the deck. I'm going to have a couple Changeling, but not enough to try to play this Merfolk rare. I'm going to take Strike over Mirror Form. Pick 4. Gristle Glutton. Actually, a Rhymekin Splash looks pretty good. We have a lot of instants and sorceries that cost 3 or less. Duplicating any of them would be a really good value off that. I'm going to take Rhymekin and splash it in. Volatile Rift. Whenever you draw a creature, it gets +X+O number of colors among permanents you control. So every creature in our deck will have at least 2 additional power. Because it's a green-red permanent. But I could just take the Puka's Eye. Big card draw engine. Play this on white and maybe actually draw a card every single turn. I'm going to take Puka's Eye. I haven't played a Puka's Eye deck yet. Wicker Maw looks pretty perfect now that we are getting some genuine Vivid cards. 7. Informant or Farmer. Actually like the Farmer here for a white permanent randomly. Another Guild Weaver's beautiful. Wayfinder would also be fine. I'm not playing Eclipsed Boggart, but probably not playing Cavalry either. But I'll take Cavalry over Boggart. Pick 10. Feastling's not that easy to cast in here because we're not actually ever getting white mana, so it's like a splashed in 2/3 lifelink. That doesn't seem right. I'll take another Gristle Glutton. Not interested in any of this. Probably not interested in Triple Glutton. All right, well, I said going into it we were going to be doing some utter nonsense now that we're over the very competitive arena direct stuff. Let's just do some fun-looking nonsense, and we absolutely ended up with some fun-looking nonsense. Trying to hit double blue on Disruptor is a little bit rough, but we can also Convoke blue if we hit Rhymekin first. Yeah, might be able Or it might be supposed to be on just like the one island, no disruptor, just play Rhymekin deck. But too bad, I'm going all in today. Let's go all 3 mana value or less instants so they all work with Rhymekin. Go all in. Full luck. Perfect draws, high roll everything. Unstoppable. If we draw perfectly, the deck. And if I'm just planning to high roll and draw perfectly, then who needs to be blighting and digging through the deck, right? Much higher on green than anything else. Play a single swamp. So I have Druid and Wickermaw and Shimmer Wild's Growth that all tap for a mana of any color. 2 Guild Weavers and a Noggle Robber for treasure, so 3 treasures as well. We only need a single treasure to play any of our black cards. Yeah, I think I'm on 1 swamp. Honestly, probably 1 island as well. We're never going to self-mill one of them, unless our opponent mills one, then we're sad. So I'm just going to go massively high on the forests with Topsoil Turner and Wildgrove Summoner in the deck. And then pretty high on mountains as our secondary color. Call it a deck there, hop into the gameplay. See how far the absolute nonsense we've brewed up at Alchemy can take us. So I told you our mana would be perfect. And we'll be fine. I've even got a forest to get double green with the Topsoil Turner. Which means I don't really want to land cycle these Zealots at this point. Oh, and the Wayfinder's going to tap for double green? Hold the phone. Yeah, just play all of our non-forests first, then play the Turner. And then this taps for double green, this taps for double green. That's so cool. Which means then we're going to be just ramping into an early Kolrath Zealot off these double green cards. I got really confused when they cast a Kolrath card of their own. I was like, did I misname mine? Is mine not Kolrath Zealot? Mine is Kolrath Zealot. Theirs is Kolrath Mystic. Big difference. Oh, let's go. That's so sick. It did make our forests look weird. But it did its thing. Oh no. Oh, this is one of those cards you have to kill immediately or you just lose the game. And unfortunately we didn't draw any of our red burn. Yeah, double team was an absurd mechanic from Alchemy Baldur's Gate. So they attack with it, they put a copy of it into their hand. Plus they get to draft a bunch of cards from its spellbook. That includes a bunch of mythic rare and rare fairies that are going to demolish our soul. Alright, well. I am doing some fun stuff, but I'm not killing sprites, so I'm probably dying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. 3 drop, 2 drop. Just play the Wayfinder and just have uber amounts of mana for next turn, I guess. My Topsoil Turner doesn't have reach anymore, so no reason to hold it up on blocks there. There's a Rhyme Speaker. Start drawing cards. Go to 12. Still didn't draw burn. Maybe Zealot will hit one. Let's see. Red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can play Rhymekin still if I don't hit something else good. Hit Puka's Eye. Yeah, I mean, I think we play that next turn. Do I actually play Wary Farmer first? I might play Wary Farmer first. So I surveil this turn. Surveil a forest to the grave. There's their duplicate Thoughtsteel sprites. So if they cast a spell during our turn, it is over. We hit another land. We need this Puka's Eye to draw us a burn spell. Just feed the flames on Zealot. Okay, at least... Oh, I was going to say at least the double sprites trigger doesn't matter, but it does because Rhyme Speaker draws them a card too, so they could just discard both of these to get, like, Bitter Blossom and... What, the Fairy Thief thing? Ooh, they don't even have to reveal what they get? I'm checking our counts. We do have 6 burn spells in this deck, so this was just kind of an unlucky game. I was like, am I playing enough interaction? Yeah, I'm on 6 burn spells. We just didn't draw any for the sprites. There it is. One moment too late. So play Rhymekin and then double Crater Stomp the sprites. And then we see what they drafted out of the spellbook. Well, they can't block this turn. Can't block Giants or Warriors. So can't block Changeling Wayfinder. I mean, I think I'm still just holding up on blocks regardless. Surveil a Guild Weaver to the top. That'll be the red permanent for Puka's Eye to draw another card, so I guess I'll keep it. They did get the Mythic Fairy, the bounce and a 3/1 flyer. Rough. And we don't know what the other one is yet. It's probably the flash 2/1 flyer that can make everybody draw cards. Boop that. Boom, boom, boom. Boop that. And then when I go to draw the Puka's Eye card here, they're probably gonna play the fairy thing. It's not. And there's the Cinder Strike for the borrower. What else did they get? Did they actually discard something from the spellbook? They didn't discard something from the spellbook, so they still have something from the spellbook in their hand. Surveil land to grave. Oh, I just realized they couldn't choose like Bitter Blossom because they don't have black mana. I wonder if they got really unlucky and just saw like triple black spell or something for their other draft, but then they would have discarded it, would they not? Puka's Eye draw, find another land, play it, and pass. Top deck board, we got an active Puka's Eye. They must have a black spell in their hand from the spellbook, I guess. Another Guild Weaver. That unlocks attacks here. This is not a warrior. I guess I could be sending Shapeshifter in every turn. Now that I have 1,000,000 mana. I'll take a Noggle Robber. There's Kyril to double up triggered abilities, like the Rhyme Speaker. They could draw 2 off it now. Next time it happens. Another land. Plop down a robber. Go team, go. Get a farmer surveil. Take a 5/5. There's a Sky Swimmer. Another flyer's not good for me. I don't think I can put Wickermaw at risk with the Puka's Eye. I am going to need Clomper to become another color too, is the problem that I'm just realizing since I lost all my red permanents. So we need Clomper to become blue or red. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 1 land left, I believe now. 1 land in the bottom 11. There's Sig to draw a card. Yeah, with that free Vigilance attack too. Very good stuff. Ooh, and then Shine Striker draw 2. That was a very, very good turn for our opponent. Come on, Clomper, blue or red, baby. Black. Tweeze is a good draw. Tweeze is a very solid draw. There's only 1 land left, so pretty much all our draws are good now. So I think I just Tweezed right now. There's 3 threats that are going to kill me right now, and I can only Tweeze 1 of them. What do I have more solutions to? I feel like I have more answers to Shine Striker and Sky Swimmer than Sig, because Sig can start doing the protection from all colors nonsense. There's the Goat Napper. Which is fun. It is a red spell too, so now I can get all colors for Puka's Eye. Yeah, because I can go blue and draw. There's Giant Fall. Kill the 3/3 flyer. That is an instant, so I can send Clomper and Wary Farmer in. And Surveil 1. Find Wildgrove Summoner. Actually, I don't know if I'm even supposed to keep that. It is a 4/7, but I don't think there's any forests left. Alright, doesn't matter. Ooh. Great stuff from Puka's Eye there. I'm surprised that we lived. I really thought that the Thoughtsteel sprites were going to get us there, but they only actually found the 1 fairy from their bonus sheet off the drafts. They didn't discard anything else from the bonus sheet, so they might have picked a black card or something. My frame rate is dying here, so I'm going to reboot Arena between games, and hopefully that'll fix it. But we are 1-0 heading into game 2. All right, here we are on the draw for game 2. Noggle Robber and a Goat Napper. Let's do it. Some early burn spells to keep ourselves alive. There is a Forest Druid I cannot burn. Could cycle Zealot for another forest, probably. Use a treasure on Goat Napper, but work towards triple green for Summoner. I think I should do that. I could stomp this Explorer, but it's a 1/1 with no abilities. The important part is it's enter the battlefield effect, which I can't stop. Sadly. Giant Fall's the draw. Here's Noggle Robber. There's their Wild Grove Summoner. That's very bad for me. Because I got to ramp into it off of double mana dork, so they're already hitting with a 3/4 haste forest. The majority of lands in their deck are now 3/4s. Okay. If I just run out my summoner, I can't play Goat Napper till this Noggle Robber dies, but I think it's still worth it to get it down immediately. All of our removal for the summoner, destroying it instead of exiling it, is also pretty bad. Because its death trigger gives them 2 more 3/4s by seeking 2 forests. So we really don't want to burn spell summoner if we can avoid it. So just 4/7 on 4/7, keep blocking it is the hope. We're probably getting combat tricked, we'll see. Well, should probably kill a forest to take 7 if they don't have a trick. I don't think Goat Napper's particularly good next turn, so I don't think I just trump with Robber just yet. Tend the Sprigs for 2 more 3/4s, a 3/4 forest, and a 3/4 token. Ay, ay, ay. Looks pretty unwinnable as far as the average game goes. Giant Fall. I should probably Giant Fall whether tapped out because I need Summoner on board for it to resolve. Take 8 here. Big yikes. Actually take 9, go to 1. But then 2 blockers against 3 attackers. If I just play 1 more blocker, then I'm chilling-ish. Not chilling, but not dead. They have like the Death Touch lifelink trick here or something. These are literally identical now that they're on board. I'll just kill the token. Oh. Well. Combat Trick's gonna kill me regardless. Disgusting game of Magic. There's not much you can do against double ramp into Summoner. Super quick game, and that'll be 1-1 heading into game 3. That was a very cool opening hand. I really don't want to have to Shimmer Wild's Growth on red, but I think I'm supposed to. If I don't hit one of the mountains here, we're really not doing anything. This Disruptor of Currents is going to be stuck in the hand for a long time. Well, okay, maybe slightly less long. Let's lead with the Goat Napper. Little cutie patootie. Glen Alendra Guardian. 2/3 flyer and can counter a non-creature spell. It's not good for me. There's Prismatic Undercurrents, put 2 lands into play. Full 5 color from our opponent. They've got a single white man untapped. They cannot counter us Giant Falling. Could also just Explosive Prodigy, actually. We have a green, black, and red permanent. So that does feel better. If I just go Guild Weaver plus Prodigy off the treasure. That is a sad day for Disruptor, but it's good value. Perpetually becomes a goat in addition to its other types. I guess it's worth conjuring a Goat Nap. Should work on my affinity for goats. Protection from monocolored. I literally can't win against that card. I don't have any multicolored removal. I mean, if I somehow go wide enough, just make infinite copies of Goat Nap, but I can't Goat Nap that. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. I can make it a goat. But then can't target it with Goat Nap anyway. Okay, Doran, I can Goat Nap. Also Giant Fall Doran. Doran doesn't do anything to the Providence. So I kind of want Doran to stick around. Just so I have something better to steal. Providence does not have protection from Doran. So what happens if I just Goat Nap Doran every turn? Only having a single red makes that slightly rough. Oh, you know what I just realized? I should not have made Doran a goat. Doran's a bigger attacker when Doran's not a goat than when he is, because when he's a goat, a 3/5 getting +2/+2, that's a 5. A 5/7 instead of a 5/10. Ooh. A double striking 5/5. That's big work from Goatnap. This is a bold attack if they can't blow up their own bold rear aggressor. Let's see if I can giant fall this Wayfinder. Take 10 and then try to Goatnap kill. If I had more red sources, I feel like I could really do it. Because I could just spam Goatnaps on every blocker they have. But if I can only cast a single copy of Goatnap, I just don't know if I can get there. I'm monumentally glad I chose red on this Shimmer Wilds Growth. Because we're not drawing any more of the red sources. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, it happened to both of us because they're on the clock right now. They're on the rope. Weird. Should maybe chump 5 damage here. Now I can double Goatnap. Well, let's see what happens, I guess. Tweez Guildweaver, hold up. 1 blue mana up. Ah, if I had another red, I could definitely win. I can Goatnap the aggressor. Doran's not a giant. This could get +3/+3. So 10 damage from that. 5 damage from Doran. That's 15. Ah, if I had another red to +3/+0 aggressor twice. Because now I can double Goatnap off of Rhymekin. But if I do it on these two, that's 15 damage. If I do it on aggressor twice, that is a 8 power creature. I hit for 16, not 20. Still do it. 15 damage taking Doran and aggressor. Taking just aggressor be less, I believe. Yeah, I think it's more damage this way. +5, 15. Plus 4, 19. 1 damage off. Yeah, I don't think I could lethal here without another red. So we do that pass, hoping to get the kill next turn after chumping to live. Now I have to top deck a mountain to live, or to win. Because they're going to have a blocker up here. If I top deck a mountain, I win, and if I don't, I lose. Man. It's a brutal game of Magic. All right, you got me. 1 and 2, heading into game 4. The comically bad mana will continue. Snap keep, and worst case scenario, we get to start another draft. We have about 9 red sources in the deck because of all of the fixing, and 6 mountains. Might be more than 9. Let's think. It's 10. Wow. There is our 1 swamp. Mythic Elemental. Jesus. Okay. I mean, obviously I should have mulliganed this, but I figured there was a reasonable chance. Every draw step's a 1 in 4 of specifically red mana. Actually, more than a 1 in 4 because we've already looked through 10 cards. So 1 in 3 at this point. We've had 4 or 5 draw steps. That is Magic for you. We will do the straight opposites of yesterday's video. 7-0 in a very competitive event into the 1-3 in the casual fun times. That was a really rough last couple games. The final one was a little self-imposed, but the second loss, just 1 more red source than we get there, so we just needed 1 more treasure or wayfinder or wicker maw or druid or robber or growth. We already drew some of those cards in that loss, but still 5 more mountains in the deck at least. But yeah, this is what I mean about the 10 red sources. When I kept that hand in the last game, we have 6 mountains, the Shimmer Wild's Growth, that's 7 of them. Wayfinder for source number 8, Wicker Maw for source number 9, and Druid for source 10. And that is not counting the fact that Robber could also give us a treasure. That would be 10 and a quarter. A treasure is not a permanent red source, but these other 10 cards are permanent sources of red mana, where we can get red out of them every single turn. Yeah, obviously not a great keep, but drew really statistically poorly for the amount of red we have in the deck. And that is just Magic. Bit of a sad draft here. We tried to do some fun stuff. We almost got some really goofy kills with the Goat Napper, but just couldn't find red. And got shot out of there real quick. 3 losses. Never got to play the Dissident. Disruptor was, like I expected, a very difficult splash, so we did not get to cast that. We were really close to casting it in our second loss as well. We had a blue creature on board and the island to maybe get to convoking it, but I think we either were forced into a chump or they did kill the Rhymekin with some kind of removal first. Something happened to the Rhymekin to stop that. But hey, that's Magic for you, especially when you're playing a bit of a higher variance deck like a 4 or 5 color kind of splashy deck like the Vivid Strategies. That'll happen. 1 and 2 will be the record for today. A bit of a bummer, but hey, I will cry myself to sleep while holding my collector booster box of Lorwyn. That is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.